Today I'm going to be taking a very rough Lake Superior agate with a beautiful banded face and turning it into a polished specimen. We're going to be polishing it on my 8-inch CABKING machine. So here is our banded beauty, and the kind of polish that I'm going to be giving it today is going to be a rounded face polish. So I'm going to be grinding down right here just a little bit, but then coming down a little more right here to expose more of those beautiful bands. So here we have some great bands, a little quartz pocket, and the rest of it is just orange nodule. It's a very beautiful agate, and I'm excited to get started on it. So the first wheel that we're going to start on is the 220 grit diamond wheel. We're going to use that to grind the face down. Before we get started, I got to throw on my lung protection and my apron and some hearing protection. And it's always fun seeing how much material we take off the stone, so I'm going to weigh it before and after. 1.8 ounces. Well, we're about a minute into grinding this face, and there's a lot of conchoidal fractures. You can see it in the light right there. So we got a lot of work to do before we can move on to the next stage. So we'll see y'all, and I'd say it's going to take me probably another 10 minutes to grind this face. Alright, so it was about, I'd say 7 minutes to grind this out. We had a couple fractures, little fuzz on my finger. Had a couple fractures right here and right here that we ground out, and you know, normally I have a ton of flat spots, but did a pretty good job working those out with the 220 grit. So now I get to move on to the 280 black softback res wheel. We'll work out the minimal flat spots that you can barely see in there and start shining this thing up. And what I'll do, just to show you the difference, I'll work this side right here, and then I'll show you what it looks like compared to the 220 to 280. So we've worked this pretty good on the 280 wheel, and I've gotten pretty good at knowing kind of when I've touched the entire surface of it. It's just a matter of some little things if they pop up, and we did have one thing pop up. It's right there at the tip of my finger. It looks like just like a micro fracture, so I'm going to see if I can work that out a little bit on the 280. Shouldn't take too long. It's a pretty strong wheel, pretty strong grit. But after I'm done with that, we'll move on to the 600. So we have got through the 600 grit res wheel, and this is looking really, really amazing. The bands on it are just popping. It looks so great. And as I always say, we now get to move on to my favorite side of the CABKING, the 1200, 3000, and 8000 grit res wheels. But before we move on, and before I show you what it looks like after 600 grit, just want to say, if you are enjoying this video so far and you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe or follow button. We have a lot of really fun lapidary projects coming down the line that I'm super excited to share with you. So if you don't want to miss that, follow along. So here it is after 600. Looking pretty great. Now, as it is with Lake Superior agates, they've been through a lot. It does have some deep natural fractures in there, but you can't even feel it. It's just part of the face. It is what it is. It's one of those things that's on my bucket list. I hope to someday polish a Lake Superior agate with 0 fractures in it. Seems like a tall order with these, but either way, this is still looking really great. So let's move on to the 1200 grit. 3000 and 8000. We'll see you when it's all polished up. We have got it all polished up all the way through the 8000 grit. I am so excited to share it with you. And while I was polishing that one, I also polished a little bonus cabochon from some Crazy Lace agate. This little itty bitty piece is super beautiful. We'll show you that as well as our perfectly polished Lake Superior agate. First things first, let's see if our agate lost any weight. Throw it on scales. 1.8 before, 1.6, 0.2 ounces were lost. So 1.6 ounce polished Lake Superior agate. Look at the light play on that perfect face. Those bands are killer. Oh, that is so great. Let me zoom in a little bit. Isn't that awesome? You know, I've always had such a hard time with quartz, and I'm really proud of it. You can kind of see right there, a few little pits that pop through with that quartz a little bit right there, but for the most part, it's really good. And those bands are awesome. I love that. That's my dog. Bentley's hanging out with me down here, so. Yeah, awesome Lake Superior agate. And that little cabochon that I polished. It's a little, okay, so this is the smallest cabochon I have ever made. And this is I think probably one of the smallest things I've ever polished. And it's awesome. Like, this thing is so great. It's got beautiful sagonite sprays right here and bands throughout. And I don't even know what this thing weighs. I'll just pop it on quick. 0.1 ounce. So yeah, there's a great shot. There you go. It's a beautiful, beautiful shot of that. So awesome. Such a great little cabochon. Here's Bentley. He's coming up. Come here, Bentley. Oh, big boy. All right, so this is Bentley. Yeah. Who's your good boy? Who's your good boy? So I'm gonna be full of dog hair now. I think I got all the dog hair off me, but anyways, so one of the questions I always get when I'm making these polishing videos is, what do you do with your polished pieces when you're all done? And normally I put them up on the shelf behind me, but I've accrued a lot of really amazing specimens, and to decrease my hoarding tendencies, a few weeks ago I started an Etsy store where I list my polished pieces and some other random stuff. So the polished Lake Superior agate and that little Crazy Lace cabochon, they will be listed on there. I'll link that in the description box below, and if you could help me out, go follow our store so you can see all of our future listings. But anyway, I had a ton of fun polishing that beautiful Lake Superior agate, and it is so fun being able to see the transformation that it makes from rough to polished. And I'm going to put a picture up here to show you the transformation that it took today. So I hope you all really enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and we'll see you next time. Bye.